Good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to our webinar this morning on marketing technology. We're just going to wait a few more seconds for everybody to start arriving. So if you could just bear with us, and we'll be with you very shortly. I think this must be one of the first webinars post-summer holidays. So thanks everybody for joining. Another 20 seconds and we'll get straight on with the webinar this morning. Okay, good morning, everybody. Warm welcome once again. Today's webinar, which is on marketing technology in the tourism industry. We hope you enjoy it today. This will last for about maximum 1 hour. And we have a fantastic panel experts with us today. If you have any questions during the webinar, please post them on our Q&A and we'll try to get round to answering them with the relevant experts during the webinar a little bit later after the individual presentations. We have a fabulous panel with us today. I'm just going to introduce you to them. First of all, from MODA and from the Nordic Tourism Collective itself, Nikki Pagels. Good morning, Nikki. We have Rolf Oftedal from Bilberry by Adventure Tech in Norway. Good morning, Rolf. And then we have Mats Nyberg, the CEO of Trippus Event Solutions in Sweden. Good morning, Mats. And finally, we have Tor Leknes, Head of Sales and Marketing at Broadstone Network in Norway. So wonderful panel we have today. And as mentioned, we're going to be talking about marketing technology and the different angles of marketing technology today. And to put it all into context and introduce everything today, I'm going to hand over to Nikki, who's going to introduce marketing technology to us all. Nikki, go ahead and good morning.
Right, good morning, everybody. Let's make sure I'm sharing and let's get going. So there we go, from the beginning. Right, everybody, thank you very much, Paul. Excited to be here today. A topic that I find super interesting because it evolves all of the time. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nikki Pagels. I'm what you call a travel technology enthusiast and a bit of a geek. In my day-to-day job, I'm the Chief Growth Officer for Mordad. We're a tech house based in Helsinki that specializes in hotel technology as well as also resort technology and destination technology. I am also a general helper outer for the Nordic Tourism Collective and love attending the Tech Matters webinars. They always excite me because there's always something new that we can all learn in the industry. So that's who I am. Today, I will be giving you a quick overview into the landscape of marketing technology and how it applies to travel and tourism, just to put a bit of context into what we are talking about and also kind of how all of the other speakers fall into the wider topic of MarTech. So let's start with a description of what we are talking about. Marketing technology essentially describes a range of software and tools that assist us in our marketing goals and objectives. In more simpler terms, marketing technology is the tech that we use to reach our clients and to help them book. When we look at what kind of marketing technology is out there and the wideness of this industry, we often come up with a map of this sort. So I'm going to introduce you all to the MarTech 5000. Courtesy of chiefmartech.com from 2020. As you can see, it's completely illegible, and the intention is not to have a look at the individual logos planted on this screen, rather to kind of see the vastness of the technology landscape that we're talking about. So rather than try and introduce each individual element, I think it's probably a good idea for each of us to have a look at the various different elements that interest us in more detail later. But for this context, to have a look at the various different continents that are highlighted here in different colors. So here we have advertising and promotion, we've got content and experience, we've got social and relationships in yellow. We've got commerce and sales, data and management highlighted, which essentially together create what we would call the marketing world of technology. Bringing these different continents to a context within travel and tourism, I've highlighted some of the individual areas of marketing technology relevant to travel and tourism companies. So within advertising and promotion, we often find campaign suites. We've got affiliate marketing attached to that, as well as ad tech itself. Within content and experience, we have a whole host of different content creation tools, as well as content management tools out there. SEO is super important, as well as also digital asset management software in general. Within commerce and sales, we have our digital sales tools that our teams use to kind of reach out to clients around the world. We also have a number of different integrations to third-party platforms, and the world of OTAs is also Meta. Within social and relationships, we have CRM systems. They can be big, they can be small, intended to help us communicate with customers. And then we also have a whole host of different social media marketing tools that are relevant to the travel and tourism industry. And finally, most important perhaps is data. We have a whole industry centered around analytics and performance tracking, as well as conversion and optimization tools that we look to make sure that we are targeting the right people at the right time and influencing their purchase pathways. And finally, we also have a number of different management tools that help us to connect all of the different marketing technology solutions that we use and make sense of it all. So why do we need marketing technology, and why is it a topic that we are talking about today? I want to spend just a moment talking about funnels. Now, for those of you who aren't within marketing or perhaps sales, a funnel refers to the pathway that a customer takes, particularly online, from when they first hear about you to making a purchase. This is essentially how our customers reach us in travel and tourism. Now, Travmar has supplied me with a fantastic kind of dissection of that funnel to help highlight the various different touch points where marketing technology helps to influence that journey. So there we have awareness that converts into interest, interest that converts into consideration, consideration that turns into intent, an evaluation and kind of comparative process, and then finally a purchase. Now, this funnel is very simple when you're talking about a solo funnel industry. Unfortunately, within travel and tourism, we are not a solo funnel industry. We are a multi-funnel industry. And the reason for that is primarily because we normally need to have multiple different travel products working simultaneously to create what we call a travel experience. So we normally need to think about multiple funnels at once. And to complicate matters further, we are also an industry where our products are very rarely consumed at the same time of purchase. So here I've highlighted a pre-purchase funnel, which is what we would think about before somebody makes a purchase. But in travel and tourism, we also have the post-purchase funnel, which refers to purchases that are made after booking, but before arrival. So this is often the upsell world within hospitality, as well as also within travel organizations and tour operators. We then have an in-stay and a traveling funnel for when the guest actually arrives to when they depart. And we finally also have a post-stay funnel where we can communicate to customers other products that might be interesting to them. So we are a multi-funnel industry with funnels that stop and another one starts, which is why I see marketing technology within travel and tourism as something like this. The girls that you see are essentially the architecture of your marketing technology and the framework and groundwork that you need to do to make sure that all of your products reach customers. The sticks are your various different funnels working simultaneously, and the plates, as long as they're spinning, are the products that your customers see. And together they create an experience. Now, marketing technology has evolved a lot in recent years, and I think kind of just for the sake of today's webinar, I've highlighted some of the macro trends within the industry at the moment. One of the biggest ones is budgets. Post-COVID period, everybody knows budgets have been tightened all over the place. And this has kind of led to marketing technology more and more so becoming part of other technology, so integrating itself into other software. The reason I highlight this is it's relevant for particularly business owners looking at marketing technology to not just ask the question, what kind of marketing technology do I need as a standalone, but also to ask the question, does marketing technology already exist within my software and how can I use it? And also to evaluate other pieces of software from a marketing angle. The second trend is sustainability, something that kind of touches our industry in many different areas, both in terms of creating content that lasts and evolves with our business, cutting down on costs, but also reaching new customers before we even know it, as well as also how we can share within destinations, which I think some of the speakers today will be talking about as well. Immersive technology is something that a lot of us know about, don't know enough about, but it's definitely something here to stay. So augmented reality, virtual reality tools, and also interactive technology are really growing, particularly with new generations demanding kind of more stuff online to try before they purchase. So this has already been seen in the fashion industry where you have online fitting rooms. That's now more and more becoming relevant also to the travel and tourism industry, as well as also remote experiences for those customers who simply can't afford to make it to destination. And finally, personalization and funnel segmentation is a hot topic for marketing technology, with a rise in holistic touchpoint technology that really looks at the entire customer journey and how to personalize it throughout its process. And that's me. I'm the lady with the spinning plates. If you do want more information about any of these elements and would like to kind of particularly understand more of the theory, then you're very, very welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. And also there's my day-to-day email, nicole@mordarbystefi. And that's it from me. Thanks.
Thanks, Nikki. Super opening and putting everything into context for us. I think it was very clear, and thanks for explaining for us non-tech tourism colleagues that are maybe a little bit less knowledgeable about some of these things. So it really did help to put it into context there. What I'd like to ask actually, Nikki, is this connection that you have between, and I think people find it very hard to grasp, is the connection between technology and sustainability. And you mentioned to create content that lasts. Could you elaborate a little bit on what that actually means?
Well, I think if I take this from a marketing technology perspective, creating content that lasts really means bringing kind of marketing to the heart of a strategy and thinking about the type of content that you are creating for your business and ensuring that it's sustainable into the future. This also helps when you start to look at destination creation and how you share your content with various different parties that may need to use it. I know that some of the other speakers will be touching on this in more detail, but there is a very relevant connection between marketing technology and sustainability that as a business owner makes sense to think about today.
Very important, I think, as well. And I think it's very interesting that, because I think collaboration is very much part of that as well. And when we come to our next presenter, which is Rolf from Bilberry by Adventure Tech, is going to put his presentation on now. And I think very much going to highlight the importance of collaboration and partnership by the technology that he specializes in, which is for activity companies. So over to you, Rolf, and far away.
Thanks a lot, Paul. First, you all can hear me okay. My name is Rolf Oftedal. I work for a company called Adventure Tech. So our headquarters is located in the remote Lofoten Islands of Norway with around 25,000 inhabitants. Here, many small communities thrive due to tourism and the revenue that it brings. Actually, tourism is the main reason why Lofoten is a great place to live and work for me. That's why I'm personally very passionate about improving tourism for everyone in my community. This is my neighborhood for reference. So one way that I believe my community, as well as many other destinations, can improve is to leverage network marketing effects through technology, specifically collaboration between tourism business. I've chosen to speak about this today because I believe that this is something most destinations can improve without significant investments or technical knowledge. In my presentation today, I will first tell you a little bit about adventure tech. Then I will explain the potential challenges of leveraging these networking effects. And I will showcase some solutions that our customers use to work within their partner network. Additionally, I will talk on how a successful sale connects to creating a positive experience for the customers, particularly when we're working with partners. So, Adventure Tech is a company that really started in the grassroots in the tourism industry in Lofoten. So the last few years, we have grown rapidly and established a leading position in Norway with around 15% market share. So our success is largely due to our software Bilberry, which is a booking and operating system specifically designed for activity-based tourism companies. So with Bilberry, you can easily manage both tailor-made tours and direct online bookings in one system. This includes handling your resources, guides, and finances efficiently. Our international expansion is already started with our London offices opening earlier this year, with customers in UK and Ireland already utilizing Bilberry to great effect. So, but back on topic, why is leveraging these network effects a challenge? So I have some anecdotal experience from my time as business owner and manager of Arctic Co-working Lodge, a community-driven tourism business specializing in digital nomads and remote workers. So part of our approach was having our own activities, but mainly what we did was recommend activities from neighboring activity companies for commission. To successfully manage these bookings for guests, there was many different processes that we had to work with depending on the company, such as agent logins, it was referrals online, sometimes I had to call. But in the end, managing the invoicing and the commission process became really time consuming, and it actually outweighed the benefits. As a result, we eventually stopped working with partners as much as we wanted. Looking at it now, you can see that my tech stack was the problem. The software that I was using had kind of really good top-down distribution. And what I mean by that is that I would receive bookings from online platforms. I would receive bookings from my local DMO, from agents, from widgets on my own website, of course. But there was no possibility in my booking system to work with all my potential partner companies, which I think is kind of interesting when you think about this statistic. And that is that there's 48% of the experience bookings are happening once travelers arrive at the destination. So we can imagine here a huge potential for impacting guest decisions when they arrive at the destinations through low-cost marketing efforts like recommendations, upselling, and packaging. So we have seen that improved collaboration can boost low season revenue and also total revenue for per customer for the companies we work with. Enabling companies to work together can also potentially reduce things as tourism leakage and make sure more of the revenue remains in the destinations. The challenge remains in streamlining this process so that it's actually worth the company's time to work together. So what we imagined with Bilberry was that you can find all the products from your partner Bilberries within your own selection of products and sell their products as your own when needed, kind of like illustrated here. Of course, still kind of utilizing the great reach of online platforms to feed the ecosystem if you want. So I will now show you some solutions that we have built to kind of solve this problem that I've been discussing. For once, it's packaging partner products within your own product. So this is the possibility to take multiple products from your own Bilberry and then combine them with partner Bilberry's products and then curate them into packages. So which you can then sell on your own websites. Illustrated here by Voss Active's rope and river product that includes high rope park, lunch, and rafting. Another solution that we have built is the opportunity to collect products from different Bilberry partners, list them on your website, and let the guest build their own package within a shopping cart, including activities, accommodation, food, rentals, day passes, and more things. So this is exactly what our customer Troll Active has done, selling their own and partner products all in the same shopping cart. And Troll Active, they actually recently won the Tourism Awards for Southern Norway in 2023. And the jury mentioned that Trollaktiv significantly increased the total amount of revenue per sale with their new booking system, all the while actively supporting their competitors. So as I briefly mentioned earlier, you can also build tailor-made itineraries in Bilberry. Here's an example from a customer named 62 Degrees North, which mainly works with packages like itineraries like this. So this itinerary is then generated directly in Bilberry. We quickly set up custom products as well as used products that you have bookable online, and the guests can then book directly from this tailor-made itinerary that they receive via email, and it's automatically synced with your calendar. So what now has really revolutionized the workday of many of our customers is the opportunity to reserve spots in your partner Bilberries directly from the itinerary builder software. So when you don't run part of the itinerary yourself, there's no need to call around and ask for availability. Just add your partner product and that is that. And this feature is a huge time saver for companies, especially for those that offer a combination of bookable tours online and online and tailor-made tours. And lastly, let's come back to that almost half of activity bookings are made on site. So what we did was we facilitated this with actually just created info screens where you can show all the available tours in the area in meeting points such as hotels and tourist information. So you can just see on the screen what products are available today, and you just scan the QR to book. Show me what Ballstrand Adventure has done here. Again, this is just generated from your products and your calendar and then synced with the partners that you choose. So this way of collaborating is nothing new in tourism. We've just aimed to do it much simpler for companies to structure their processes when working with partners. And maybe even more importantly, making it friction-free for the guest. A great review, which we all know is the benchmark in tourism, starts with a great sale, no matter if it's through an online booking, if it's on location, or through a tailor-made offer. What was our job was to make sure the information from the sale was flowing as smoothly as it could between the relevant parties, making sure the product was up to standard and removing the hassle of manual tasks when collaborating. Bilberry keeps track of all the work you do with partners for you, solving the issues that I originally had as a business owner. So that was my presentation. Thanks for your time. To finish, I will kind of invite all of you to think with us in what other ways do you believe destinations or maybe even DMOs can support this kind of like grassroots collaborations. If you have any ideas you want to discuss this, then please contact me at my email and we can have a quick chat. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, Rolf. Super. And I'm glad you put this collaboration image very much into our minds. And I think before COVID and over the last sort of 10 years, the sort of competitor concept in tourism is evolving into partnerships. And I think it's very important that when we have tools like Bilberry by Adventure Tech, that you can see that there are so many ways for these competitors to become really valuable partners for us. And it's a kind of new mindset, I would say, in tourism that's developing. So I really appreciate that. A couple of questions I wanted to ask you, Rolf. These are network effects in sales and marketing. Are there any more opportunities in the network effect in other areas of managing an activity company that you can think of?
For one, there's something that we have thought about that would be really cool that you can do with Bilberry. And that has to do with resources and sharing resources with other companies. In theory, if you had 10 kayak guide companies in our hometown of Lofoten, they could all use Bilberry and then share the investment on the same set of kayaks. Then they would be ready for anything, either with slow periods on their biggest group tour ever. I don't necessarily think that this will happen in the short future, but when we talk about sustainable tourism, maximizing resources across a destination is definitely like things we need to look at.
Excellent, excellent. I think Lofoten, for those maybe that don't know your Lofoten area, it's one of the most amazing region in the very northwest of Norway, and it epitomizes what collaboration and potential there are, because as you mentioned right at the beginning, it's not the most populated place, but it's the most unbelievable nature tourism destination. So I think it's a real success story that you're building out there, and a real great solution for the region. Can I just bring up to you a question about guides? How does this work in the sense of a guide solution?
So what we figured it wasn't just streamlining the sale, we also have to streamline the guide management too, making it easy for both the activity companies and the guide to work with the system. So for the company, it's important to match the right guide with the right guests, knowing when the guides are available and the skills that they have. And Bilberry kind of stores that information and let you treat guides as the most important resource in the company, which they are. For the guide, on the other hand, it's very important to know exactly what guests they are having with them on the tour and what to take into consideration to give the guest a good experience. And this is what we believe creates a good delivery, this relationship between the company and the guide.
Excellent, thank you. And finally, is there any other software that you use in the Bilberry organization that we should know about?
Yes, there is. We also work with a product called the Blend. So what Blend does is an integration platform that is specialized in putting together trips. It's a flexible like sales and booking process that supports really DMCs in selling package tours with everything from accommodation, transportation, activities, and experience. So imagine that you are a DMC or a DMO, then you know, of course, what is the best experience to do at the destination, and you can easily create curated packages for the guest. But in a digital sale, you don't necessarily know the guest. Therefore, for an optimal conversion, you are dependent on the guest being able to customize the package that you have suggested to them. And that's what Blend lets you do. So Blend is already integrated with like a variety of systems for flights, trains, buses, boats, rental cars, accommodations, activities, and more are coming. So that's what we do with Blend.
Super. Well, thanks very much, Rolf. I mean, it's really interesting to hear what your solution can do for destination, for activity companies, and for the whole ecosystem there. So thank you very much indeed. Now we're going to switch angles now to communication, to digital services for events. And I'm going to introduce you to Mats Nyberg, CEO of Trippers. Over to you, Mats.
Oh, thank you, Paul. And hello, everybody. My name is Mats Nyberg, as Paul said, and I'm the CEO of a company called Trippers, and we have an event management system. And today I will use some minutes to tell you about the trends we see when it comes to hybrid events. It's been a lot of talk about hybrid events for many years. I mean, all of us was forced to have a lot of digital events for a couple of years. You know the reason. And I think the majority of us were a bit fed up in the end to just participate in digital ones. So when the restrictions was left, people just ran into arranging pure physical events. And we were all happy to meet a lot of people and being able to travel and just get together. And I mean, the reason for that was quite simple. But after a while, the demand for digital events or the digital part as a part of physical events increased. And now we can see that a lot of hybrid events are taking place. But at the same time, we see a lot of barriers from hosts from arranging hybrid events. Why? Yeah, one simple thing is that you are a bit afraid of not attracting the physical ones because the physical attendees are the ones that, I mean, of course, make a lot of money. You can you want a revenue stream from the physical attendees. That's simple as that. But another barrier as well is that arranging hybrid events is something outside your comfort zone. You are not so used to arrange these kind of events. So you stick to just have the physical ones. But it's not that complicated. And if you don't get outside your comfort zone and start arranging hybrid events, you will be left behind. Because now we can see that there increase in demand from people participating in physical events, and digital events are increasing a lot. People are used to participate in a lot of different events all over the world, just for 1 hour to see one session or to see a presentation or be part of a chat group or whatever. So we want to make it simpler to arrange this kind of hybrid events. In the screen here, you see an example of a hybrid event that takes place at this moment. It's called World Water Week, where we have something like 2,000 attendees here in Stockholm physically, and we have something like 10,000 attendees from 193 countries all over the world taking place and participate in the digital solution. We have something like 10 to 15 sessions going on at the same time, different topics, but all at this time on the water world. So how can you make it attractive for both physical and digital attendees? And how do you make sure that the physical event attendees will participate physically? You want all these people to, in this time, be in Stockholm, as well as you want to be attractive for all the digital attendees all over the world. Yeah, you need to see this as an opportunity, because a lot of people are afraid of the digital ones, that all attendees want to be part of it digitally and don't travel to the destination. So here we can see how you can solve this. You have the program with all the sessions. Just a second. It's a lot of sessions going on every day. A lot of different topics. So it's a lot of things you can use from. You can just go into one session that you missed and see it afterwards. So there is solutions today where you very efficient can make it possible for everybody to participate, even though you are in Venezuela, Canada, or whatever. You can't travel to all places every week, but you want to participate in different events. And one question here is it very costly to do these kind of things? Now, when the digital solutions was started, it was a lot of 3D animations. There was a lot of costly, very inefficient way of doing it, because all the market was spent on the digital solution. Now we want to go back to the physical ones and have the digital at the same time. So it's not cost at all at the moment. It's just open up for more people to attend, for the exhibitor to reach much more people all around the world, and make it an opportunity for you as a host to reach out for the whole world and to grow the business, both from the exhibitor side, but also marketing your destination for more people at the same time, because the exhibitors can reach now 10,000 people at the same time instead of just 2,000. So this is a way to reach much more people, to grow the business, to grow the revenue for a specific event, and to make sure that you are in the front row instead of being left behind compared to other hosts. So there are a lot of solutions today. We have one to make it sure for you to create efficient events, both physically and digitally.
Thanks,
so
Matt.
that's what, yeah.
Yeah, no, Matto, that's great. I was going to ask you a couple of questions, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
You know, how do I, as a host, obviously we at the Nordic Collective and our colleagues at ETOA, we have lots of events, and we are sometimes a little bit nervous about going to a hybrid solution, to be honest. And how do I, as a host, benefit from growing my event from a pure physical one to a hybrid one?
Yeah, there are two things that we want to talk about there. First of all, as I said, you benefit from presenting your destination and your event for so many more people when you do it as a hybrid. We saw during the pandemic that events that usually had maybe 500-600 attendees when it was pure physically grew to 20,000 attendees. And of course, if you have that many attendees and you have exhibitors that want to speak to all of those, you can make it much more efficient and much more interesting for all the exhibitors to take both a physical booth and a digital booth to communicate with the physical ones and the digital ones all over the world. So, I mean, it was so much more interesting for the exhibitor to participate in these kind of events because you reach so much more people in a broader area.
Yeah. So yeah, so the broader reach and you know, growing the concept of your event, I can understand that. But are these digital solutions for hybrid events, are they not very expensive?
Yeah, they were in the beginning, because when the pandemic started, you're creating them and developing them, and you wanted them to look like a physical one. So there were 3D solutions, and a lot of companies raised a lot of money to develop this, and the value of those companies just went up high, and a lot of them have now left the scene because the demand has not been that high. But now there are so much more efficient solutions that just adding a service to the physical solution. So the price for these digital solution has decreased a lot. So it's much more efficient today. So we usually say that it's less than the value for the coffee for an exhibitor to have a digital booth. So it's not costly at all anymore, and it's an opportunity to make much more money out of an event.
So technology has really moved on in the last few years on
yeah,
this.
and it's going fast, and it's going even faster. So you have to keep up with the competition, that's for sure.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much, Matt. It's really interesting, and to have a solution for hybrid events. I think we at Collective, NTC, and ETOA would be very interested to learn more. So thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that. If you could stop the sharing, we'll pass over to my next panelist. I'm delighted to welcome Tor Lexner from Broadstone in Norway. Tor, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Just a moment, and I'll try and share my screen for you here. Are we there?
Super.
We're good to go. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Tor, and I look after the sales team of Broadstone Network in Norway. I'm here to talk about the importance of visual content and digital sales and marketing tools in today's market. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm looking forward to share this. I have a lot of information that I want to tell you, so I'm gonna talk a little bit fast, but I think we will be okay. So what we do is that we specialize in strategic content that supports both B2C and B2B, that's business to client and business to business sales, providing interactive solutions and technology for all different types of clients. So what we're seeking to do as Broadstone is to set the new global sustainable standard for both investing, producing, and using your visual travel industry content. And by doing so, we enable both sales and marketing teams to convert sales faster, better, and smarter. I'm going to go a little bit into this, but the most important part is that visual content, digital sales, and marketing tools are all speaking the same visual content language. So visual content and visual technology, let's start off with that. What is visual technology? Well, it started out as well-written copyright text. Then it became pictures. As you know, pictures are 1,000 words. And then commercial videos came. These are all sales tools that are made to adapt, to grab and grab the attention span of this so ever-changing buyer/clients. So video today is the most dominating tool, explaining, inspiring, and visualizing your product and sales services. There are no questions around that. But then what's the next big thing to come? That's the question that we wanted to answer. And in order to tell you what that is, I have to tell you a story. Because about 7 years ago, our company was a regular marketing video company. We did everything from social media content to website videos to anything you could do on the B2C platforms, social media or websites. We started out with doing this, and we did all kinds of clients. We weren't specialized in the travel industry the way we are today. But one day we had a request from something called a DMC, which we did not know what was at that time. A destination management concierge team that came from Iceland wanted to start up shop in Norway. So they gave us a mission where they told us to go and film a hotel outside of Bergen. And this hotel was called Panorama Hotel and Resorts. They wanted to explain to an agent sitting in the UK what this product looks like and how the agent can resell this as part of the DMC package experience in that destination. So we went out, did what we did best. We filmed, we produced all the content the way we've done it in all the years before. But when we came back, the DMC told us that this was not what they were looking for. Okay, so we went back again with new instructions, filmed it all again, came back again, and still we hadn't done what they needed us to do. So we started thinking, what do they want? What kind of content do they need to do there? What do they use it for? And then they told us, and then we went back again, and back again, and back again. And we went back again 9 times. 9 times to film this hotel the right way in the eyes of a DMC, so that they could explain this product and reuse the content for re-explaining and using this hotel in multiple different bids in the future. We had no idea what this was. So we'd simply had too much focus on B2C content, and we didn't understand the travel industry the same way that a DMC did, because they work a lot in the B2B part of it. So we discovered what needed was a whole new type of content. We needed the right kind of content for the B2B sales tools conversations that are mostly now taking over this industry. So what is the next big thing? This is where we discovered the hard way that in order for us to find the right type of content, you also have to have the right kinds of tools. So the content also have to match the tool and whatever solution the tool is trying to solve. There was this massive vacuum here, so in opportunity, and nobody was really viewing the travel industry part as a B2B point of view. Everybody was doing marketing content for social media or web pages, the content they needed for themselves from a supplier's perspective. So nobody was thinking about, what about the rest of the value chain? What do they need? What kind of tools are they using? So this is where we discovered and produced, after 6 long years, I'll tell you that, something called Smart Content Strategy. Now, Smart Content Strategy is a complete new way for producing visual content for the travel industry. And it's a new global sustainable standard for investing in visual content that will allow you to do easier A to B creative testing, that will keep up with ever-changing client preferences, and also adapt to most digital sales tools. Obviously, the last one here is very important also, because right now, digital tools is the thing that this industry needs the most. By combining decades of travel industry knowledge and smart content strategy, we developed digital sales tools and services that enable sales to get even more efficient, allows marketing to be even more creative, and enable new leads to see your actual full potential. In short, we produce this visual content needed for both marketing, sale, and external sales parties. As we've just seen just now, there's a lot of really cool digital technology tools out there, but they all need content, and they all need content adapted to their markets and their way of selling. This is what the smart content strategy from Broadstone actually solves. And then what we do with this content is that we create tools that are specifically made to ensure that the efficiency of this content and sales and marketing needs are met. Because if we are going to keep investing in a new type of digital tools all the time, as we are now doing, we need to at some point find a sustainable way of producing visual content, as Nikki said earlier on. We need to set the minimum standard for producing quality and relevant visual content needed for whatever new digital tools that will be in the future. Today, you're talking about anything from digital site inspections, auto mail follow-ups, digital fam trips, interactive videos for marketing contexts, content that explains products on booking platforms, AR, RI, tech, and all these new technology that's coming. All of them needs content. They all need relevant and high quality visual content. So we wanted to start doing something that nobody had done before. We wanted to start viewing on this new way of producing it and making sure that once you start producing and investing in content, you could actually cover all grounds. Now, why is visual technology and digital tools so important today? If you look at the screen, the statistics that I've shared you here, having an interactive video instead of a normal video actually 10 times your click-through rate, which is insane when you're trying to explain a product. And it also helps you with a lot of other benefits, like 30% more viewers wants to skip a step in a video, and completion rate is actually 36% higher than any other media. So it really, really is important. But this is why it's this is the main reason for it. Why do we need technology and why do we need tools and content? Well, because of what happened a couple of years ago, and it's still happening in some places. COVID happened, and what COVID hit, it kind of became like a reset button for the entire travel industry. So what happened on both the buyer and the supplier side is that they lost a lot of talented people with a lot of knowledge. They have to fire some of them and then try to get back whatever talent was left in the industry. And that came from different kinds of companies again. So competitors were now trading employees. And so the people had completely new products that they had to learn and and there's a lot more of a competition in the industry for the clients. So what also happened is that when you're trying to replace all these people that was lost on both sides, you're hiring in newer, younger persons, which came with some downsides, but also some really good benefits. So the downsides for the new hires is that they don't really know the products that they're supposed to sell. They don't have any connections with the supplier/buyer that they're trying to do. So, for example, a travel agency could have the same contract with a supplier, but the people don't know each other anymore. And they haven't really seen the product that they're supposed to be selling. Now they they don't have the connecting with the buyer the same way as a salesperson has been doing for 10, 15 years of connecting with the clients. So, but the positive side with this is that there's a couple of good opportunities that comes with it, because the younger generation also consumes videos and visual content a lot faster than any other media. They hate slow and complex solutions, but they love new technology, which also makes them a lot more creative. And we need to allow them to be more creative. Then also, and most important, they also learn a lot faster with videos and interactive tools. So during a time where people couldn't travel to see each other's products and fam trips and site inspections, this is something that really, really helped this industry, and we're really proud of it. So my point being here is that whoever is in charge of your company's visual content, you better have one that is in charge of that. They need to start thinking about the full needs of both B2B, B2C, and external sales partners. So that, because so much of today's marketing budget is only focuses on B2C, the social media part of whatever the supplier needs. They don't focus on the B2B as much as needed. The new tools that are coming, and it's going to help us grow back to our before, and preferably also onwards towards what happened post-COVID. all of these tools are fully reliable on this kind of content in order to use and work fully at top performance. It doesn't matter what tools you have if you don't have the right content to back up the solution. This is really, really, really important to understand. So I'm going to finish up with this one, because although it is a changing force that is upon you, this is also an opportunity for you to make a great improvement and make it right from the start. Living in this digital world that we are today, there's a lot of companies now seeking to invest in digital sales and marketing tools to stay ahead of their competition. But are they investing in the right sustainable solutions? Remember, investment technology should adapt to you and your ever-changing strategies, just as you have to adapt to your ever-changing market. So my bottom line is, adapt smart or die trying. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry if I'm a bit over the line. Sorry.
Thanks very much, Tor. Brilliant. Very nice presentation. Thank you. Visual contact is so important for the future, and of course for the younger generation. Very quick couple of questions for you, Tor, very quick, because we haven't got too long. Is what in your opinion are examples of misuse of visual content?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. There was this time where 360 the filming of products and hotels and restaurants and venues was really, really popular. The problem with that is that it's becoming more of a post-sale tool at best. It's a planning tool most likely, because when a hotel, for example, starts investing in visual content, they still have to fix all the rooms. They have to set up all the different scenarios that they want to showcase for this tool, which they're still doing in the 360. But now you can't really reuse that footage for anything else. If you just film this instead of that and use it as a smart content strategy, as Broadzone does, you could reuse all of this content for so many other purposes. You could create social media videos, you could create presentations with it. You can't really do that with a 360. Also, while sending a 360 video of your hotel to a travel agent and expecting them to click through your entire hotel is the equal same of trying to sell your house to somebody and then just giving them the key and says, go inside, I'll stay here and wait for you. It's not gonna work. It doesn't work in that same way. They don't have the time for it, and it's not a way to sell anything. So yeah, that's my main one on that one. I think 360 bad for you.
Yeah, I got it, and I guess the attention span of some of the all of us actually, because we're also so busy these days, is getting shorter and shorter. So we need really quality visuals that we remember super quickly. And just one very last point: interactive videos. You mentioned interactive videos, why they're so important. I think. Can you just clarify a little bit to that?
Yeah. So imagine having a restaurant or a hotel, even better. You want to showcase everything your hotel can do. So this video could be, let's say for giggles, it's 5 minutes long. This is everything that you can do. Now the attention span of people starts dropping off about 65%. So if your unique selling point is at 70% or 80%, you're going to lose a lot of business because of that. So when you have a complex product, you want to simplify explaining it. So instead of imagine a line like this. Instead of forcing the viewer to see the entire line until they see your unique selling point, you simply put the line here and the focus point there, and they can choose whatever part is interesting for them within 3 clicks or less. It just grabs a lot more attention. It just allows whoever's looking at it to find immediately what they need to find. Instead of trying to figure out who the client is before they enter, you treat it, as Nikki said, a funnel. So you go wide in the beginning and then shorten specifically down to whatever specifics they look for. So you just hit your targets more.
It's that added sophistication, I think, that's so important nowadays, and to be on it. Thanks so much, Tor. If you could just stop sharing, and we're just going to sort of start wrapping things up a little bit, and I'm going to look at Nikki a little bit in a second. But basically, it's been really interesting grabbing the whole 360 different angles of marketing technology. We've got a couple of questions that have come in on the Q&A. One is, I think, directed more at you, Rolf, regarding can this solution of yours, the Bilberry solution, be used for mice activities as well? That was one that has come on the one of the...
Yes. In fact, mice was one of the reasons why Bilberry was created in the first place, to have the ability to control your availability automatically when also working with private itineraries such as conferences, business trips, and things like this.
Super, thank you. And we will be sharing all the contact details and presentations to everybody afterwards, and we will have a recording of this as well, so you will be able to grab the panelists and ask them any questions you would like with their contact details. Nikki, any last sort of thoughts that's in your mind from today's discussion?
A few. There's a lot of information, but I do have a couple of things that really pop out to me as kind of key takeaways almost. So I found it really interesting, Rolf, to hear about kind of Bilberry and how destinations can really improve their competitiveness through using sensible technology and collaborating. And I think that is revolutionary for our industry, in particular in places like Lofoten. I think from a sustainability point of view as well, it's great thought to have had you on board today, because understanding how sustainability relates to content and making sure that your content goes as far as possible to as many different players within the tourism value chain is really interesting. And also some pretty cool tech there in that interactive video. And Mats, it was really interesting to hear about kind of the post-pandemic period and the trend of events being consumed out of location. So as an industry, I think we're no longer using location as an obstacle to attend any events. And that seems to be a lasting trend. So really interesting to hear more about hybrid events as well.
Super, thanks, Nikki. That's great, and I think I'm personally not a tech expert, so I learned a lot about what solutions there are available with our super panel of experts here today. So I just want to say thank you to our colleagues at ETOA for hosting this event and being such great colleagues for these webinars. Tech Matters is super important for us. Nikki is helping us develop the tech side of things so we can understand what is available for the tourism industry out there. And honestly, guys, we really appreciate your time to present your products and what is available. And I'm sure a lot of our audience are there today thinking, wow, there is something that we should start investigating, and hopefully you'll be contacted very soon. So our next webinar will be on nature tourism in October, followed by a market insight into the South American market, which are both very different but equally interesting. And we will have another Tech Matters subject and webinar before the end of this year in Q4. So thank you very much once again to all our fabulous panelists and experts today. Thanks so much for your time, and to all the audience joining. If we haven't answered your questions, we will get round to doing it shortly, directly on email, and wishing you all a very nice day, and thanks for joining us. Thank you, everyone.